Now going over to the Cultural Pod podcast, I have Matt Walsh going viral for his take on Trump's new tax idea, well, not being passed by the House, no income tax for tips. Now, this brought to us, obviously, thanks to Matt on X, and he was responding to Newswire, who said, quote, 100-0, U.S. Senate passes the No Tax on Tips Act, which, I was going to say, I don't think we've seen the Senate that popular in decades. 100-0. That's pretty insane. Now, Matt responded saying, quote, arbitrarily granting a tax exemption to service workers isn't right or fair. The government should not be using the tax code to arbitrarily pick winners and losers. If the income of a waiter shouldn't be taxed, then no one else should be taxed either. That's the opinion I prefer, unquote. Getting 1.3 million views and 24,000 likes, which is quite a few to say the least. And I definitely see where Matt is coming from. I kind of see some parallels between, people trying to deregulate or get rid of the NFA Act of 1934, also known as the National Firearms Act of 1934, which makes it a pain in the ass to buy things like short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, suppressors, machine guns, destructive devices. You can buy them, but it's a very painful process and a $200 tax stamp, which, again, thank God for inflation that one time in our life it did help, because that originally was passed at $200 in 1934. Be worth about $5,000 now if they were to adjust for inflation. But a lot of people are saying, well, okay, let's get the suppressors off the NFA Act and we'll slowly get rid of it all. So I can kind of see why Matt's saying, why don't we just get rid of all of it? Which, again, that would be the preference. I think to the just more pragmatic approaches, you're going to do it in layers, which, again, I definitely see the downside because politicians have let us down, or at least let me down for pretty much my whole damn life. Now, going to the comments, you got some mixed results here. You have Cool Christian Engineer saying, quote, I can't remember the last 100-0 Senate vote, getting 3 likes. John Rice said, quote, the income of the waiter is taxed, the tips are not. A tip is a gratuity, a gift. Try to keep up, Sir Catholic, getting 685 likes. Which, yes, and we're already seeing memes on the internet, or as I like to call them, memes, where someone says, oh yeah, my barber charged me $1, for my haircut, but I gave him, a $58 tip or something like that. Which, again, you'll obviously see some of that type of manipulation of finances. It'll be interesting to see how big of an issue that is or isn't. I would also argue that most tips are not being reported in terms of income in the United States, especially if you pay in cash, which, especially the small businesses, I highly recommend only paying them in cash. You also have the fat electrician saying, quote, yes, the, quote, I'm getting effed, so I demand everyone gets effed too, is a fair argument. I guarantee they would sign a bill into law tomorrow abolishing all taxes and people would still bitch. He says, quote, taxes didn't get abolished until I was 50, so everyone else should have to pay taxes until they're 52. Just be fair to me. You don't want taxes. The government just got rid of some. Celebrate the win. You don't let your desire for perfection prevent progress. Getting 4.6 thousand likes. You have Vixum saying, quote, they make less than minimum wage in some cases because of their tips. Their tips should not be taxed as a result. That's the reason why the bill passed 100-0. Stop being a contrarian for the sake of being contrarian, getting 272 likes, which, I think Matt enjoys being a contrarian from time to time, but I don't think that's necessarily his goal in life. You have Captain Anti-Capitalism saying, quote, I agree that no one should be taxed, but in the interim, less taxation is generally preferable to more. Yeah, I agree with that. I got 697. Let's make it 698 likes. You also have Lee Eves saying, quote, oh, for crying out loud, any elimination of any taxes for working people is a good thing. Some folks complain about everything, getting 158 likes. Dissident West says, quote, if you're a blue-collar worker and you work twice as hard for work that actually provides a real service to people, but you make less than some waiters and get 0 breaks from the government, stealing all of your hard-earned money, the gift is unanimous. The gift unanimous support is a joke. Sorry, he said getting unanimous support is a joke. Again, click that subscribe button. I have that theory when I first started the show. Barely anyone subscribed or watched. And I started over my words worse than Joe Biden, trying to climb upstairs and spoke faster than Ben Shapiro. But as I slowly but surely gain more subscribers, I've become slightly better at speaking. Many would argue it's just a modicum of improvement, barely anything at all, but statistically, I think an improvement. So if you click that button again, I greatly appreciate it. Johnny Cox says, quote, what a sloppy straw man. The bill is about taxes on tips, not taxes on income, unquote, getting 158 likes. Anti-Third World says, quote, wouldn't this be a step towards doing away with income tax, getting 166 likes? I think a lot of people feel that way. Jacob Henry Bergman said, quote, their checks still get taxed, their tips do not. This is already true when it comes to cash tips. So what's the problem here? Americans don't pay enough taxes, unquote, or question mark, getting 103 likes. Kakaya Konkanger says, quote, Matt Walsh show soon. It's Matt Walsh with the iPad. It says add to tip. And got 10 likes there. Harvey DM says, quote, bad take, homie. I don't work in the service industry, but the tips I give are for individuals and quality of the service they provide, not the government. You're assuming everyone tips. Getting 45 likes, which, no, I mean, not everyone tips, but I think most people do tip when they're in that situation where they have an exchange of goods and services. The Truth Man says, quote, not only that the no tax on overtime thing just feels gross, but like, quote, we will tax you hard earned money every hour, every day. But if you work yourself to exhaustion, then we won't tax the exhaustion part. They say they should just be, what do you say? They should just shoot for no tax under 100K first, getting 50 likes. Which again, hopefully they just get rid of the taxes altogether. Because Lord knows they already take too much from us to make, geez Louise, almost 50% between the federal government and the state government, depending on how much you make. Then if you buy something in Texas, it's 8.25% of your money stolen from you when you buy something because of the sales tax. Then you got alcohol tax, tobacco tax, telecommunications tax. You also have water tax. You have, what else? Capital gains tax, inheritance tax, gasoline tax on federal and state level as well. Like, yeah. If we were to actually do the math and breakdown of every dollar we earn, how much we actually get to keep at the end of the day, it would be utterly sad and depressing. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.